Welcome to the Global Law Program. You're with Andrew Bird, and we're going to explore all things law today, hopefully entertain you. Welcome to the program. First item I wish to highlight is the new website, Human Rights for, that's the figure, Queensland.com.au. So there's a new push for a Human Rights Act for Queensland. As per an article released by the website on the 13th of October, a Human Rights Act does two things. It improves how government operates, and it provides people with recourse when their rights are violated. The human rights legislation that exists in Victoria and ACT protects the rule of law by putting constraints on the exercise of power. This constraint is simply to require each arm of government to consider human rights in the decision-making process. Parliament is able to pass laws that are not compatible with human rights. However, if they do so, they must explain the exceptional circumstances that justify their actions. So the website again, humanrights4queensland.com.au. The Australian government has released some new checklists and calculators for our business. So on the business.gov.au website, there's now changing from a sole trader to company checklist. It's an interactive checklist that'll step you through the key differences between a sole trader and a company. It covers key points that people commonly misunderstand, including your business, taxes, liabilities, responsibilities, asset protection, and ongoing costs. The other thing that was released was a pay and conditions tool, so you can work out your employees' pay and entitlements in one place. There are 4 calculators in the tool: the pay calculator, the leave calculator, notice and redundancy calculator, and shift calculator. So I'm going to put those links up for you. Now this article complements the last one. I've come across this website, Tanda, tanda.co. It's actually QT Alumni Innovation, and it does your employee timesheets, and it does all the award calculations, things like that, and it's really in real time in a nice format. So if you go look at the website, there's the time and attendance software, and there's it does all the accounting integration and all that kind of stuff. So if you're working on a cloud-based system, this is something you can consider, and it kind of automates it all, and it seems to be a lot of take-up in this on this software already. So check it out. I'll put up the link. This is a fascinating story. Sweden has challenged the 8-hour working day, which is standard amongst the world. They're looking to move towards a shorter standard 6-hour working day. In April 2014, the government of Gothenburg announced that public sector employees would work less hours and experiment to improve mental and physical health and increase productivity. So this was only announced late September. So watch that space. See what happens there. Start of this month, a new Irish passport card was officially launched, designed to fit into a wallet and includes a picture. It allows Irish citizens to travel anywhere in the EU without a passport. The bit of a twist apparently is that your photo can be a selfie, so it must be a bit of an application via an online website. Adult citizens over the age of 18 who already hold a valid passport may apply for the card. So online applications are being accepted. This seems to be a bit of a world first, so watch that space. I suspect that it'll become more and more common that people will carry their identification around with them, like the international identification. Happening again next year is the CLE Paris Global Law Conference. It's going to be held on the 5th and 6th of January in Paris, France, and basically it's bringing together international leaders in their legal fields to speak in a format encouraging inspiration, stimulation, and conversation. And the venue is one of the greatest historical civil law jurisdictions, and the country that's determined to take a lead in emerging global and transnational trends. There's also private visits of legal significance. In 2016, visiting the French Senate, and a law professor's tour. There's going to be it's kind of organised by the one of the co-chairmen of the CLE Paris, Professor Jim Corkery of Bonn University. So I'll put the cleparis.org is the website. Recently there's been exciting developments in Aboriginal culture, the sharing of that. There's a new app called the Welcome to Country iPhone app that delivers a simple Welcome to Country video introduction to Australian Indigenous culture, including basic cultural protocols that are tribal boundary geo-Pacific. The app uses the GPS function of the iPhone to deliver a Welcome to Country video or text image version to the user via a push notification. Where available within a tribal boundary, this is the best part, the video will be of a traditional owner or elder welcoming the user visitor to their country where when the user enters the tribal geo boundary. So it's an educational app, and it contains more than 30 tribes and language groups of over 500 groups, so right across Australia. So there's a great coverage and a great educational thing. I'm very happy this has been released. You can look it up at welcometocountry.mobi on the internet. I'm going to put the link up for you. Now I'm just referring to a UN press release. At the landmark Sustainable Development Summit held from 25th to 27th September, UN headquarters in New York, countries officially adopted the historic new agenda titled Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which is agreed upon by the 193 member states of the United Nations and includes 17 Sustainable Development Goals. As per Mr. Ban, the United Nations Secretary General, it is a roadmap to ending global poverty, building a life of dignity for all, and leaving no one behind. It is also a clarion call to work in partnership and intensify efforts to share prosperity, empower people's livelihoods, ensure peace, and heal our planet for the benefit of this and future generations. You can look at the goals, Sustainable Development Goals. 1, no poverty. Then I'll keep going on. 0 hunger. Good health and well-being. Quality education. Gender equality. Clean water and sanitation. Affordable and clean energy. Decent work and economic growth. Industry, innovation and infrastructure. Reduced inequalities. Sustainable cities and communities. Responsible consumption and production. Climate action. Life below water. Life on land. Peace, justice and strong institutions. Partnerships for the goals. So I'll put the link up, un.org/sustainable development. Well, this is currently happening in Queensland. There's an inquiry into the introduction of 4-year terms in Queensland Parliament. On the 15th of September, the Parliament resolved that the Committee of the Parliament, Finance and Administration Committee, inquired into the introduction of 4-year terms for the Queensland Parliament. The committee is to consider as a report on the matter by 9th of November. They're to consider the comparison of 3 and 4 year parliamentary terms, including advantages and disadvantages, comparison of parliamentary terms in other Australian jurisdictions, mechanisms for determining the referendum question that will be put to the Queensland public, and the possible starting date of any new arrangements if adopted. So there you go. There might be longer terms for our politicians. The Queensland Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk has announced a $40 million fund to help innovative startup companies prosper in Queensland. The fund is to be active from Tuesday. It's called the Advanced Queensland Business Development Fund. It would help kickstart Queensland's next wave of startups. For good ideas, a minimum of $250,000 is now on the table, half from the state, half from investors. More funding for startups. I'm going to write about this in the bulletin soon. It just doesn't really help those who are starting up without having any, financial backing from, other, investors or other thing. If you're relying from like your families and other thing, you might not be able to have that money to get even that grant in the first place. Interesting. The State Library of Queensland has introduced a business studio to support entrepreneurs and startups to make their innovative business ideas a reality. It's housed in one central location on site at the State Library of Queensland, the online hub. there's membership will be offered. You can get bookable workstations, exclusive business studio Wi-Fi, access and borrow business resources, attend special workshops and mentoring sessions, and the Entrepreneur in Residence program is coming soon. So yeah, it's going to help you with a business checklist before you start a business, different things to help you when you have a business, buying it, and things like that. So there's details. I'm going to put it up for you.